So I am late to the party here. Late! But they say better late than never, right? When I saw this cast, okay, the Sarah Michelle Gellar, Christina Milian, Patrick Dempsey, Christian Slater, I had to join the party. The Dexter Original Sin party, guys. I've never watched the original Dexter, actually, so I couldn't tell you anything about it, so I'm going into this blindly. So episode 1 is entitled And in the Beginning. We start out with Dexter in the back of a cop car, speaking on how he's experienced death so many times but never his own. He'd been shot and rushed to the hospital. Doctors are able to pump him back to a beating heartbeat. He then flashes back to when his mom gave birth to him. We then fast forward to a young adult Dexter. It appears he's doing some sort of internship with the doctor and fellow students as he's cutting open a dead body. He's clearly not the popular one, as his classmates are calling him a freak because he seems to be amused by the dead body. The doctor tells him he's special and that he'll make a great surgeon one day. Dexter says that he's been preparing for this his whole life. He says to himself that he felt nothing after cutting into that dead body. He does seem a little creepy. I'll say that. I mean, he can't smile without thinking about psychos and dead bodies. We then see Patrick Dempsey's fine ass, who plays Captain Spencer. He pulls up to a crime scene. He's playing a detective and dead bodies are found at the scene. He's then approached by Christian Slater, who plays Detective Morgan. They want to get to the bottom of the dead bodies, but Sarah Michelle Gellar, who plays Tanya Martin, ain't having that shit and told them they ain't gonna be contaminating her crime scene, bitch. She said to put some booties on. Apparently, there was an intruder who entered through the back porch. They shot the parents that lived at the house as well as the little girl. They then took all of the family's valuables. Reno Wilson is also a detective whom I recognize from Good Girls. This intruder also wore booties, so made it hard to trace them. The family was watching TV, Happy Days to be exact, when the intruder entered. Later that night, we see Dexter at dinner and Detective Morgan is his father. Dexter has a sister also, Deborah. Dexter is graduating in a week. There's a party happening that he won't be attending, so Deborah says she'll be pulling up on behalf of the Morgan family. But Harry said that she can only go if she takes Dexter with him. Harry tells Dexter to stick to the plan of finishing school while Dexter isn't sure that it'll satisfy his urges. He couldn't stop thinking about killing, apparently. The next day, Dexter is at a job fair where he passes by the Miami Metro police booth. He's obsessed with the crime scene photos. Vince from Miami Metro is there representing them, but all he cares about is pulling girls. We then see Captain Spencer losing his shit because there have been 3 murders in the area and he will not stand for another. He is cussing his team out. Tanya then shows up with a suspect photo, a 6'3" tall guy named Levi Reed. They pull up to his crib while he's singing Ice Ice Baby in the shower and bust his ass. Meanwhile, we see Dexter swooning over Ted Bundy and other famous serial killers. He and Deborah then go to the college party. Deborah ditches him, of course, because she's the cool sibling. Dexter refers to his father as Harry, which makes me wonder if it's his real father. Deborah blacks out and is now locked in a room with some jock named Andy. Dexter rushes to the room to see Deborah unconscious, with Andy standing over top of her, so Dexter charges at Andy and throws his ass down some stairs. Dexter beats his ass and clearly wanted to kill Andy, but Deborah stopped him. They're both thrown out of the party and Deborah is mad at him for some reason. She's a bitch. Maybe that'll change, but for now, bitch. That night we see Harry have a flashback of him watching football, hoping to use that time to bond with Dexter, but instead, Dexter is underwater unconscious in the pool. Harry dives in and CPRs him back to life. Doris comes home to find the ambulance and loses it. Back to real time when Harry and Dexter go hunting the next day. Harry is aware of Dexter's needs, so takes him hunting to help suppress those murderous urges, but baby Dexter says that animals aren't doing it for him anymore. He tells Harry that he almost killed Andy the night before at the party, but Deborah stopped him. Harry suddenly has severe chest pains, so Dexter rushes him to the hospital. Turns out he had a heart attack, but was gonna be okay. Dexter and Deborah go home that night and Deb is not okay. She's sad about Harry as well as their mother who has passed. She tries to comfort herself by hugging Dexter, but he's so damn weird and cold that he's unable to console her. After seeing multiple deaths in the paper and how Harry was getting worse, Dexter thinks that Harry's nurse, Mary, is the culprit. A fellow sailor is what he called it. So he starts investigating her ass. Dexter learns from his professor that the high potassium nitrate that's been given to Harry from Nurse Mary could be deadly if continued, and that it wouldn't be detected in an autopsy because the body will only process it. So it seems that this bitch is trying to kill Harry. Dexter told Harry, and Harry said not to let her give it to him. Harry then told him to stop her, and that pretty much made Dexter's dick hard because he knew exactly what that meant. Dexter pulled up to her place, covered it in plastic, waited for her to arrive home, knocked her out, and tied her ass up. She said that she was doing these people a favor, but Dexter wasn't trying to hear that. He unalived her and fed her body to the alligators, bitch. He ended up keeping her earrings, which even he admitted wasn't smart. Come on, Dexter. Captain Spencer and the whole crew brought some food to the house for Dexter and Deb. Tanya was there too and told Dexter that based on Dr. Rivers' recommendations, as well as Dexter quickly clocking the crime scene details from the day he saw Vince at the job fair, that she got him a job. Deb gets home and is pissed because Dexter missed her big game. She also makes his ass throw out all the food that Captain Spencer and friends brought over because none of that shit was heart healthy. Dexter later graduates and Deb shows up surprisingly, and she supports him, which I thought was very sweet. A nice sweet moment. Harry is now better, and Dexter confirms that he did the deed regarding Nurse Mary's evil ass. He told her what he did with the body. We end the episode with Dexter and his haircut, as well as Harry going back to work. I can only imagine what's going to take place from here. Again, I've never watched the original Dexter, but the original Sin, I am into it so far, and I can't wait to see what unfolds.